What is the hallmark of every great nation? What separates great nations that rise to world power and leave their indelible mark upon history from those that languish in mediocrity, never shaping the world as they could have? I tend to think that intelligent, informed citizens have been and continue to be the backbone of every great nation. If one were to examine the levels of civic engagement from the Declaration of Independence in 1776 to the relentless growth of television in 1976, one might find that our priorities as a nation have changed. Instead of echoing Patrick Henry in his noble declaration of "give me liberty or give me death," we're more likely to hear "give me television or give me death." Justin Bieber's latest hit single is likely to cause more of an uproar than the BP oil spill that caused vast environmental damage and put millions of people out of work. It's easy to see there's a problem, but it's not always easy to find out who's responsible. Is it an individual? Is it an institution? Is it a society? Maybe, but as I see it, the largest share of the blame rests squarely upon the shoulders of television as a medium, as a system of communication. Television destroys meaningful dialogue in a democratic society, and today we'll be taking a tour of the two main avenues on this apocalyptic road to diminished participation in a democratic society. So buckle up. The first is the reduction of our ability to think critically and independently, and the second is overemphasizing the importance of appearance and spectacle in civic engagement. But before I dive in, I've got to set the stage. Year 1440. Country, Germany. Culprit, Johannes Gutenberg. Gutenberg invented the first mechanized printing press, and this invention would change the face of civilization for all time. Now, the reproduction and wide distribution of ideas and information could be achieved at a level never before seen in history. A new medium was created, the medium of printed text. And there was something special about this medium, ingrained in its very nature, inextricably tied to its existence was logic, reflection, and consequently innovation. So it's no coincidence that the invention of the mechanized printing press laid the foundation for what historians call the Age of Reason and the scientific progress that would follow. Consider how the letters, words, and pages move from left to right in a logical, organized fashion. In print media, logic and ideas reign. Every word that is written must bear full responsibility for itself, lest it be weighed and measured and found wanting. Now fast forward 500 years to 1940. We have a similar phenomenon, the creation of another medium, but this time it's television. And if print media was the obedient, self-motivated child, television is definitely the red-headed stepchild, constantly misbehaving and generally causing problems. And my apologies if you have red hair, Anna. The passing images of television exterminate the remnants of careful thinking like a holocaust for the mind. It's like a black hole where rationality goes to die. Instead of a logical presentation of important concepts, we get an erratic presentation of oftentimes useless and shallow information. Have any of you seen the latest Axe advertisements on TV? They basically promise you that if you buy their products, you'll get laid. Ads like these work best in a medium like television. Imagine Axe creating a printed ad that said, "Buy our body spray and you'll have more sex." Trust me, I practically bathe in Axe every morning and it hasn't worked for me, okay? It's a ridiculous claim, but that's what all their commercials imply. And there's countless more like it. Watching those ads is like going to a $5 hooker. Anything you take away from the experience is likely to be detrimental, if you know what I mean. You know, we would have been lucky if television's ideological blitzkrieg only injured us in the domestic sphere. Unfortunately, it's also extended to the public sphere. I'm sure we can all recall a distasteful political TV ad or two that attacked the personal character of one of the candidates and tried to connect it to the legitimacy of their ideas. This does not promote critical, independent thinking, but politicians use them because they're effective, and they're effective because people don't think about it. It's easier to make an impulsive decision based on a 30-second ad than to take the time and research the real perspectives of both candidates. Now, if someone's reading a text, usually it's not going anywhere, right? You can stop and think about it. It's like eating a nice, home-cooked meal. You can savor every bite. As college students, I know we can all appreciate one of those. But it's not so with television. The images and words are relentless with television. If you stop to think what was said or shown, you'll fall behind. It's like being force-fed with a constant barrage of food just being shoved in your face. In an attempt to keep up, we oftentimes just take it all in with no thought to what's being said. And this is a problem. How can people think critically and independently if they aren't given the time to do so? And if people aren't thinking for themselves, we've turned into nothing more than a bunch of sheep being goaded along by what we see and hear on television. We become intellectually blind. And the blind can't lead the blind. With the rise of this new medium also comes the rise of an overemphasis on appearance. In today's world, the stature and weight of a person's body have more influence than the stature and weight of their ideas. We have it terribly backward, and television is to blame. In today's world, if you want to convey your ideas to the widest audience possible, you've got to use television. But if you're using television, you've got to be a hottie, plain and simple. It seems that only the attractive people have ideas that are worth disseminating to the general public. You think we'll ever see an extremely obese person become president? How about someone with a cleft palate? Didn't you know anyone who is obese or has a cleft palate can't lead a nation? They don't have anything meaningful to contribute to our society on a large scale. Or do they? And it's just that Jack, the ruggedly handsome television giant, constantly beats them down with his glamorous diamond-studded club. I mean, the fact is, the printing press, and consequently, all of the advances in scientific logical thought has brought us to where we are today. Television is a direct result of that scientific progress. The problem is television is a medium that is fraught with problems that are intrinsic to its very nature, two of which are the reduction of our ability to think critically and an unhealthy obsession with images over ideas. We created television, and now it's destroying our society. Our masterpiece has become our misfortune. Or in the words of Walt Kelly, we have met the enemy, and he is us. Thank you.